Okay, so today we're going to cover how to make the transformation flipbook in class for 1.4. So we're going to start with a blank card, and somewhere in the middle, okay, don't go too far to the left, but somewhere in the middle, we're going to place a shape. So let's say, for example, we place a rectangle. And let's do it like that, okay? Kind of clean it up a little bit, but we're just going to draw a simple rectangle, okay? So we place that over a light source, maybe like a laptop or the back of your phone, and we're going to put the new card, the next card is going to be flipped to, on top of it. So the old card, the new card. Okay, we can label this number 1, and this is going to be number 2. Okay, so you stack them on top of each other, and we're going to trace this. But when I trace it, I'm going to move it a little bit to the right. Okay, I'm going to draw it next to it. Okay, if you can kind of see, I'm drawing next to it. I'm not drawing on it. And so what's going to happen is you do this about 15 times and it's going to slide pretty far over. Okay, so we take the first card. Once again, we drew our shape. I put it over the light source. I put the new card on top and I trace it right next to it. Okay. So I put the first card is going to go to the side. I'm going to flip it upside down so I can stack them like that. That way it stays in order. So card number 2 is here, and I'm going to put a new fresh card. Let's call it number 3. So 2 is on bottom, 3 is now on top. Okay, and I'm going to do this again. Once again, just to the side of it. Now when I come through afterwards, I can kind of clean it up and make it look nicer. But once again, we put the card 3 is going to stay on top, and let's add a card number 4. Okay. Stack it over the light source, and I go just to the side of it. Your shape might change a little bit if you're not copying it perfectly. I'm not really copying it perfectly. You can kind of tell it's more of a square now. But I'll go back through when I'm done, and I'll kind of clean it up a little bit to make it look more like a rectangle. So this is card number 5. Put it over the light source. Okay, if I compare card number 1 to card number 5, let's see what the difference is, okay? So if I go back to my first card, card number 1 to card number 5, okay, you can see it's actually a pretty big difference. And it looks like they're the same height, but maybe this one's a little skinnier. So maybe this one will be a little bit skinnier. You can kind of maybe clean that up later. Okay, so cards 1, 2, 3, 4 go here. Let's go to card number 6. Okay, you're going to do this all the way to card 15. Okay. So keep doing that. Okay. All right, so once I get done with that, I'll finish that on my own later. I'll go to the next one. So those are translations. That's how you slide stuff. So we can start numbering again. And this time we're going to do a rotation. So with a rotation, you want to start by putting a dot somewhere. Oops, put a dot anywhere on your page, preferably over here on this far side. And you want to put another object, for example, a triangle, a square, any other shape you want to do. And you can put it anywhere around the dot. I kind of like to put it, let's say, over here on the side. Makes it kind of easy to see. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a rotation. So when I do a rotation, that rotation is going to go around like this. So to show that, okay, this is my first one. I'm going to take my next card. Okay, this is card number 2. Okay, card number 2 on top. I'm going to start by copying down where the dot is. Okay, that's the point of rotation. So the new card goes on top, and you copy the point of rotation. They're in the same. They should be in the same spot. Now, since I want to rotate it, I could draw it a little above it, but to make it easier, what I like to do is actually rotate the cards, but put the dot, match the dots up, okay? Match these dots up. You see the 2 dots? I want them to be on top of each other. Now they're on top of each other. The cards are kind of crooked like that. And when I copy it, okay, what you're going to notice when I line it back up, oh, did I do it backwards? Looks like I might have done it a little bit backwards. Let's see. So you see how number 2 is below it? I wanted number 2 to be above it. So I'm going to erase this. And let's see, how can I make this go up? So to make the back one go up, I should tilt it the other direction because we want it to spin this way. Right? We want this to turn to spin this way. So let's line it back up, but this time I'm going to tilt the cards in a different direction. Let's do it like that. All right, so now when I line them up, we'll notice card 2 is a little higher than card number 1. Okay? So card 1, card 2 is on top. So let's do card 3. Card 3, remember we lay it on top and we copy the dot. Okay, where's the dot? Here's the dot. Now we're going to tilt this that way. We're going to copy down the triangle shape and move on to the next card. So I'll pause at 4. Okay, here's number 4. I start by copying down the dot. Okay. And then I turn the triangle a little bit. And so if I compare the first one to this one, okay, it's only gone a few of these steps. Let's see how far it has rotated. So let's go back to the first card. Okay, I'll put the first card in front just so we can see the difference. And you see how it's already rotating? Do that about 15 times and it should be like a 90-degree angle or so. Okay, so once again, that's only the first 4. You should do about 15. The third one you're going to do is, there's translation, which was to move it, a rotation, which is to rotate it, right, to turn it. Then there's the reflection. Okay, so for the reflection, we're going to start by, we can call it number 1 again, and we're going to put a line of reflection. Okay, and I'm going to put like a little house shape on one side. Okay. Kind of like an arrow, like it's pointing away from the line. So when I do a reflection, it should be like this when it's done, right? It should be kind of facing the other direction when it's done. So what we're going to do, we only need 10 to 15 of these to really do it. We're going to move it, take maybe about 4 or 5, let's say 5 cards to move this, to slide it over to the line. Then we're going to flip it and slide it further away. So let's see if we can do that in about 10 cards. Okay, so here's card number 2. Put the line. And once again, because I'm going to slide it over and then flip it, let's make sure that we put it, so we want to slide this a little closer to the line of reflection. Notice I'm drawing a little bit to the right here. Okay, it's a little bit to the right. So that means for card number 3, I'm going to draw it even closer to the line. So I'm going to draw this line. I have this shape here. I'm going to draw it slightly to the right. Card 4. Whoops. Don't want to do that. I can clean that up a little bit later. I want to move it more though. Okay. And let's do card number 5. Okay, card number 5. So card number 5, let's put it right over here. So you can go all the way to the line, you can kind of stop just short of the line, but the general idea is it's going to go from, here's the first card and the 5th card, okay? So as you can kind of see, it's sliding towards the line. So one way you can kind of do this next step, let's do it like this. Let's start by copying down the line. Let's do a reflection. So what I can do is line this up like this. Actually, let's go like that. I'm going to put this on the bottom. Let's kind of sketch out. I know it's got to be this along there. Oops. What am I doing? Here's 5. All right, one more time. I copied the line. Let's take number 6, and I'm going to, since I didn't put it in the center, I guess it's going to be a little difficult to line it up perfectly. But when I do this, since I'm trying to do a mirror image reflection, okay, it should look like that. And now I can take an eraser and clean up the sides. Okay, so feel free to make guidelines and things like that. So I'll do number 7, and then I'm going to pause for a moment. And we shouldn't really need to do more for this demonstration. Okay, we're here. Okay, you see I drew it a little to the right. I'm going to do about 10 of these, and that should make it look like a mirror image of the first one because it's being slid the other direction. Okay. 5, 6, 7. So when you're all done, you put your 3 stacks together. Okay, when you have all your cards together. And what I find to be helpful is when you have your full stack of cards, okay, you don't want it to be straight on the edge. You want the front to be a little bit at an angle. So instead of being straight, you want it kind of at like a little bit of like an angle. That way you can thumb through it easy. Okay, if it's straight, it can be kind of difficult to thumb through it. When it's like this, okay, it's easier to do that. Okay, now you can make a cover page for yours, and then you take a binder clip. So with your cover page, once again, we want to make it a little bit tilted. You put your binder clip on it, okay, somewhere in the middle, and then make sure, since you shouldn't have run it on the left side, it should be like this, whoops, on the right side. Adjust, and you can, okay. So if you did all about 50 or so of these cards, it would be the longer, smoother animations that we'll kind of get to. So hopefully that got you started in the right direction. If you have questions, make sure you email me.